The weather certainly feels a lot more like spring today, but it wasn't the case over the weekend. But that didn't mean our spring sports weren't rolling. Men's baseball were lassoed into the loss column by the McNeese State Cowboys down in Louisiana. After freshman relief pitcher Colton Book threw 5 scoreless innings to win the second match of the weekend, McNeese quieted the bats of the Seawolves in Sunday's game. They took the series 2-1. Meanwhile, men's lacrosse defeated Robert Morris on Saturday. Behind 2 hat tricks from Mike McCannell and Dylan Palinetti, the Seawolves tallied 18 goals in their second win of the season. The women's team, unfortunately, suffered a heartbreaking loss, just 13-2 up in Syracuse. Our women's basketball team completed a clean sweep last weekend. 3 games, 3 wins. The biggest came against Hartford on Saturday, where the Seawolves put up a season-high 95 points on the Hawks. The men were not as successful. They dropped a game against UMBC and split a weekend home-and-home versus Hartford. However, the biggest news may have come off the court. Stony Brook's president, Maury McGinnis, requested that America East reinstate our student athletes for conference playoffs. As far as this report is concerned, the president can request, but the students, we need to demand. We'll keep an eye out on any developments there. In exciting news, the Stony Brook Seawolves hockey team has won the Eastern States Collegiate Hockey League Championship. It's their 5th ESCHL title, but their first since 2016. They knocked off Drexel in the semifinal game. It was a 9-2 thrashing. Saturday's championship against Delaware was much closer. Forward Scott Lawson scored early in the third period to make it 3-1, proving to be the eventual game winner in a 4-2 victory. I was fortunate enough to be there and witness that moment of catharsis for the 6 seniors winning their first championship. The university and USG are fortunate to have such a successful organization here. Next up, Nationals in March. Moving from the college rink to the Olympic rink, Team Finland took home the gold medal in hockey for the first time in history. They defeated their big bad neighbor in Russia. But it was an Olympics filled with firsts. Norway accumulated the most gold medals, a feat they've never done before. And at the closing ceremony in Beijing just yesterday, they received 16 first-place medals, which is the record for any single country at the Winter Games. But the 2-week event wasn't free from controversy. The failed drug test of 15-year-old Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva, the retracted sexual assault allegations against China's vice premier from tennis star Peng Shuai. And this certainly was felt in the ratings, as NBC experienced a 47% drop-off from the 2018 Olympics, which was no doubt influenced by the underperformance of American athletes, who placed 4th in the tournament, winning 25 medals. The lone bright spot was Nathaniel Chen winning the gold. And speaking of gold, back to you, Deshaun, who's shining like gold under the studio lights.